Hi, Cuddlebugs. It is the 8th, December 8th, and it's on Vlogmas number 8. Today, I'm just going to have a little chit chat and get going on my Christmas cards. I need to send them out tomorrow. So I'm trying to get them all. If, like I said, if you guys want a card, let me know and put your address or just DM me, and we can exchange addresses and that. Today was kind of fun. It was very long and very busy and still going. It started off at 4 this morning. Around 5:19, I got my first hit on Lyft, and I met this gentleman, a very nice gentleman, and I took him all the way from where I live, which is in Hemet, all the way down to San Diego. It was like an hour and a half drive. Very nice, very conversationalist we had. We're talking about, our families and our holidays that we had and what was my favorite Christmas and his. And it was really nice. It was a nice, pleasant ride. We did run into an accident, big rig. We don't know what happened because all we saw was a big rig and the passenger side was hit and it was all smushed up and everything on the K-rail, but I still don't understand. But it could have been another car too. But by the time we passed by it, which was like a slow crawl, they already had removed everything other than the big rig. I guess they were waiting for the tow truck to take that off the road as well. Beautiful day in San Antonio. Not in San Antonio. Look at, I'm so bad. In San Diego. Diego. 77. It was weird though because it was warmer there than it was here in the inland. So that was kind of weird. I thought it'd be colder or cooler because it was close to the ocean, but no. And I should have videotaped, but I can videotape when I'm by myself, driving here and there. But I do use the app on my phone too, so it's kind of, I don't know, we'll try it. If not, one day when I'm on my way home, I'll go ahead and video. Because somebody mentioned about when they liked when I used to do my videos going to work and that in the morning. I just came back to the things I used to like to do and stuff. So yeah, and then I had two other, which was great, two other runs. And then I had to run back into town. It's like two little towns put together. So there's Hemet and San Jacinto, and my sister and my brother live in San Jacinto. And my poor brother, since September when he was released from the hospital in San Antonio, they still had left the feeding tube, the GI tube in him. Just in case he would have had a relapse, they said, well, it's already there, We took him today to get it removed at Loma Linda, and I was the chauffeur, so I picked him up, took him over there. We did take the back roads because my husband had called me and said, the winds are really bad, and this was the Santa Ana winds. If you live in Southern California, you know what the Santa Ana winds are like. They blow trees down. The palm tree leaves are everywhere. Oh my God! And then there's tumbleweeds. You think we have tumbleweeds, and they can do a lot of damage to your car if you run into them in that. So that's why I was like, But my sister showed me a different way to go, so that was nice. And it didn't take that long. I think it didn't even take an hour, or maybe it did take an hour, but we were all, talking about stuff. And I dropped him off. I haven't been to a hospital. I mean, I go to Kaiser, but they're not the hospital. They're just like, urgent care and medical buildings, But when I arrived at the Loma Linda University there in Redlands, it looked like a movie set. To tell you, it was so surreal. You have the police officer out there, they stop you before you even enter, you go down the driveway because they're got everything like blocked off in that. Well, obviously, but they ask you like, what are you doing here? What is your purpose? And we let them know that my brother had to go to emergency because they can remove his GI, is it GI? Feeding tube. So I said, okay. But he goes, you're gonna have to turn around and go park. And I said, okay, no problem. They said, okay, we'll go. So they both left. But around there was tents, and then there was this one tent canopy, the ones that they have, like a tube, and then they have the zipper and everything's closed in there and stuff. Um, Come to find out later from my sister, she said she goes, how come they just let us in and they checked our temperatures, but those people, we thought we were going to go in that tent. And she goes, no, they let us go right in. And I go, well, maybe those are the people whose temperatures read, higher, or those are the people who have symptoms that came to the hospital. And she goes, oh, okay. But stuff like that just gets to her because she wants to know why they're over there. Why were they sent in the hospital? And why were they sent to a tent? Drives her crazy. So they went in there, and then I went to go park the car. And I walked in, I got my mask and my gloves on. And I'm kind of leery though, because, it's the hospital. You don't want to, everybody had masks on. Everybody had the patients' families and everything. They're all out there. And I didn't realize that was also where they picked them up. I went in there and I was lined up ready to get my temperature check. And I was reading on there that, if it was a child, one parent can come in to visit, but if it was an adult, you could not visit. They wouldn't let anybody come and visit. But my brother was in an emergency room, so I was wondering if they're going to let me in that. And then when I was about to walk up and get my temperature checked, and my sister called me and said, you know what, if you just want to go ahead, get back to the car and just relax and go to sleep, because I told them that I had been up early. I said, okay, that's fine. I'll go ahead and sit in the car. I brought my crochet in that, so I was crocheting, and sitting there. And I was sitting there and looking at all these people. And then I was seeing the children, with their little masks on. Oh, this one little girl, she was in so much pain. She couldn't even, and I'm not saying because it was COVID. It could be something else, right? But yeah, her dad had it, they took her out of the car and everything. And her dad had to pick her up and carry her. And that touched my heart that she was just so weak, and he picked her up and take her in. And she was probably 11 or 12, It was nice to have her dad there. So then you would see the moms, the new moms, and the fathers are all nervous, putting the car seats in the trucks and the automobiles or whatever they were driving. And the mother sitting there in the wheelchair waiting for him to put the baby in there and then put her in there. So that was fun too to watch. Not fun, but I love people watching. I love to watch people. I love to see their attitudes and how they interact with each other. I've always been that way. And so I was just sitting there. I would look up and look down because I didn't want them to think, oh yeah, she's just gawking at us, because I was. But, I just didn't want them to know that I was gawking at them. And they would bring, the nurses and all of them would come down with them and, help them into their cars and stuff, and probably give them directions on, certain things, because an elderly lady, sorry. I guess her son came and picked her up, and her daughter, or the other way around, and they were telling them about whatever she had in her hands on the wheelchair, that this was important, because you can kind of hear, because where I was parked at, you can kind of hear the conversation. Yes, I was being my sister. I was being nosy. But anyway, I was like, wow, some of these people are so lucky to be able to walk out of there, and be cared for by their families. And I just sat there, and I picked him up at 11, a little bit after 11. And I think we stayed there till almost 3 o'clock. Yeah. When my sister called me to tell me that they were done with him and to go pick him up. So that was great, because I just had to back out and go to the ER road, the entrance, and they were there. It's so funny. Do you guys do this sometimes? And I always think it's me. Even with my husband, I do it too. I like if we're in the grocery store and he goes one way and I go another way, but then we meet up in a certain area or whatever. Do you kind of like it, like your mind just kind of blanks out, and you're like looking at him and you're like, oh, is that him? Oh yeah, it is him. That happens to me a lot. Um, so with my sister and my brother, I'm like, and I can see my sister going like, and I'm like, what is she talking to me? Because I didn't recognize. My brother had a jacket on and a hat on, and then she was there too. And it just dawned, oh my God, that's them. And I mean, I keep it to myself, but now, everybody knows. So I thought that was so weird. I'm like, why is this lady telling me to go? Until I realized, yeah, it's my sister and my brother. Anyway, yeah, they removed it. And he was a little tender because I thought when I was studying to be, a CNA, and then I remember when they did catheters, but that's catheter. This is a feeding tube. So I thought it would be the same way that, they have like a little thing on the tube that you inject water, and that's why it becomes like a little bubble. So people, who tend to want to take it out, they can't take it out because it's like bigger than the hole. But no, this one was like a little knob and it had nothing in there, and so they just pulled it out. And it did hurt him. And he was tender of it, so they gave him something there to chill out. And they asked him, what's your pain between 1 to 10? I said, and he said 8. I said, I would have said 25. Give me the good stuff. But he said 8, and I guess they just gave him some kind of ibuprofen or something to help him with it. On the way home, we were like, okay, you guys want to eat? Because they hadn't ate lunch, and I haven't either, and they go, what do you guys want to eat? This and that. Well, we know we can't go anywhere and sit down and have food anymore because we're closed down. So we went ahead and ordered some cane chicken. I don't know if anybody knows about cane chicken. They're little tenders. They give you french fries, crinkle french fries, and they give you coleslaw, and what else they give you? And Texas toast. I think they're basically from like Texas. I don't know. I have no idea where they originated from. But anyway, yeah, so we each got one. My brother paid for lunch, dinner, and it was good. Their chicken tenders are so juicy and so good. But I don't like their vinaigrette that they dip them in. I don't like none of the sauces they dip them in. So I just eat it just like that because when they're nice and warm. But it was hot. They weren't hot by the time we got home and everything. Because of traffic and going on at 5 o'clock, you get all this traffic. People coming in to the Henderson area, and then people, wanting from work. They work from, Redlands, just, Beaumont, Banning, everywhere else. San Bernardino. So we got there, it was already dark, and I turned the lights on for them in the car, and my brother started laughing, It was cute because he asked me earlier, what's that wire for? I don't know if he thought it was for the turning signals, or I have no idea what he must have thought that wire was for because it was just there. I go, that's for the lights. He goes, the lights? I go, yeah, they're on. You can't see the lights because it's the wire and then the little boop. And so I turned them on for him, and he's just like, oh my God. So I was driving the Tegan. So that's the one that has the Santa Claus truck on it and the snowman. So that's what I was driving. So I called Bubba, and I let him know that I'm on my way. Because he was kind of nervous because of the wind and stuff. And I go, no, it was fine. Everything was fine. Even coming back on the 10, it was fine. It was the freeway, the US 10. Is that how I say it? US 10? The I-10, international. I don't. Anyway, it was on the 10. Okay, hello. If you're Southern California, you know exactly what I'm saying. And then I came home, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta do my Vlogmas before I check out, because tomorrow is an early day. Probably 3, or I might just wait until 5, take a couple of extra hours of sleep before it gets light. And but I was like really happy. I did really good today. And my husband Bubba, he was like, were you nervous going down to San Diego at all? And I'm like, no, I felt great going. It was awesome ride. I go, we were just conversing, so that really helped ease up any kind of tension if I had any tension, but I didn't have any tension. I told him I wasn't nervous at all. It was comfortable and everything went well. So he was happy about that. And I'm happy about that too, because I used to be petrified of the freeway. And I wasn't. I wasn't when I was a young teenager and early 20s and stuff. I would come down here from Bakersfield all on my own, and we'd go to the Riverdale by Riverside, and go to the Metro, which was this awesome nightclub. It was just a piece of crap when I wanted to take Bubba to it to show him, but it wasn't the same, in the 80s and stuff. But yeah, I was able to do all of that. But when I married my first husband, he, how sometimes you think, I'm not going to let somebody treat me like that. I'm not going to have somebody having me, all scared about this and that. That's how I was. But the thing is, he petrified me of getting on the freeway with the car that we had. He goes, "Oh, did you hear that?" It was all manipulation with my first marriage. So I got out of it. And Bubba said, "Nope, you're not going to be like that. You're going to, conquer this, and you're going to drive." And the first time I actually drove, when I got older, and when I left my ex-husband, I was talking to Bubba, we went to Vegas. And the best compliment he could give me was that he let me drive home and he fell asleep. And he's like, "What?" And I go, "Thank you." And he's like, "What?" He thought I was being sarcastic because he fell asleep and he wasn't keeping me company. But I go, "You trust me enough, knowing that the history I have on this freeways and stuff, that you fell asleep." He's like, "I know you could do it. You did it before, so I know you could do it. You just, you need the encouragement because a-hole made you think that way." And it's like, yeah, I was like totally brainwashed for not to drive. And I used to love to drive. So yeah, so I told him, no, I did awesome. I loved it. I loved going down there. And, I just had to come back up. I went to the Walmart down there. Well, I guess one of the Walmarts, right? Over there by Balboa. And because usually I go to the restrooms there. Especially now, I don't trust going to AM/PM or any of the gas stations and stuff. I usually either go to Stater Brothers, which is a local grocery store, Albertsons, a local grocery store, or Walmart. And I always find the nearest one so I know where to go to the bathroom. And I walked in there and I said, I'm going to go check out, see what kind of clothes they have. It's San Diego, so they might get different variety of stuff. I went in there and I did see Terra Sky, because that's what the plus size name is for the Walmart brand. So I went in there and I was like, once I saw the True something, that's like the juniors, and I was like, okay, so where's my size? Where's our clothes? And they just had one back wall with leggings, plaid shirts, sweatshirts, zippered hoodies and stuff, and sweatpants and sweatshirts. And I'm like, that's it? That's all they had? And I'm like, wow. And I thought ours was bad, because we're in a little town here. I couldn't believe it. That's all they had. So I checked out their clearance. Nothing. They didn't have anything really that I was looking to see or even try on if I wanted to. Nothing at all. So I said, well, that's the end of that trip. So I gathered my little stuff here and I said, bye-bye. So I left San Diego. So that's what it was today. Like I said, tomorrow's going to be an early day. I'm hoping to get the good runs tomorrow. I love what I'm doing. It is just like totally different than sitting behind a desk and, typing away and listening to blah, 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 like the Charlie Brown's teachers and stuff. So I do enjoy my job right now. And then we were discussing about, my sister and me were discussing about when we're going to plan to go to Texas, down to Eagle Pass, to take care of my mother's estate. Because we want to go down there and, kind of see what we want, and then kind of give our cousins a chance to see what they want, and then either sell the rest of the stuff and then get it ready for the house and the lot to be sold. And I go, I don't know. I go, I know my husband is going to want to take his vacation to go out there, but if he has to come back and we're still dealing with stuff, then me and her can just stay there and we could probably fly back, or we're going to rent a truck so the stuff that we do want, we can bring it back on that. And it's going to be 3 of us because my brother's going to come too. And I think my other brother from Illinois is going to fly in too as well. But we want to make sure that all this stuff is not going good. They got new numbers every day, high numbers, surpassing the day before numbers and stuff, with new cases, hospitalizations, and also deaths. So we're hoping, well, hopefully that we can get the vaccination and then we can kind of go. If not, then, I don't want to go in the summertime because in Eagle Pass, Texas, humidity and heat don't go well with the cuddles. It's just too much. No, 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 no. So if not, it might be around this time or before October and that before we go, or we go in 2022. I'm hoping we go before, but like it just depends on how this epidemic is affecting everybody, because we do have loved ones and we have to deal, come back. Especially my brother from Illinois, he has his daughters and their grandbabies, and that's something you have to worry about. And his wife's family as well, my sister-in-law's family as well. So you just got to keep an eye on that. What was I just lost my train of thought. I think that happens with age. I'm not too sure, but I think it happens with age. Great. I'm losing it. Oh, so another day passed. Mr. Bubba didn't get the tree up. I'm getting frustrated. So I guess tomorrow, after I get off of work or, stop driving, I'm going to come home and put my tree up. I might as well do it. I thought he wanted to be part of this. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I will get him and shake him. Okay, there's enough lights outside. We got to put some lights inside. So hopefully I can get that done and then that could be my vlog for the day. My tree. Because I know I talk about it, and I haven't even done it. And I'm like, they're going to think I'm lying, that I don't have a tree. And, I do, but I just need to get it going on it. So tomorrow, hopefully we can get that. Also, we went to Costco the other day, and Waterloo sparkling waters. They used to sell them there at Costco in the 24-pack. Delicious. I love them because their flavors are really good. They have no sugar, and also it's just the water and whatever makes it sparkly, the acid or whatever, the citric acid, and then the little flavor. So they didn't have it again when we went. I don't know if they're going to continue selling them or not. I have no idea. Or they just get spurts of them, and if you get them, you get them. If you don't, you don't. And then like Walmart, they have their brand, which is cheap because it's $2.77 for a 12-pack. And the other brands, which is like Bubbly, love Bubbly, and also LaCroix, for 8, there's $3.97 just for 8. No. I usually just drink the Walmart brand. I love the what's so funny that the grapefruit is more with the Walmart brand for some reason. It's not $2.77, it's 3 something. It's $3.15 or something. It's a little bit higher than the regular ones. But I do like the blackberry. I like the lemon lime, and also the grapefruit. They have peach and they have strawberry, but I don't know. I thought I would like them because I like peaches and I like strawberry, but not in that form, I guess. So when we went to Costco, they have the 24-pack. They usually have the regular 24-pack, which is 2 of the lime, 1 of the lemon, and 1 of the grapefruit. 6 packs, right? So now they have their holiday edition, which is tangerine, cran raspberry, or something like that. It's cranberry. And then they have the berry one, and it's a cute little purple can of LaCroix. Oh my God, it tastes so good. It's so refreshing, and like I don't drink soda, I drink this, so it's really good. So we went ahead and bought 2 of them. We were already done with one case. Now we're on the second one. I'm sorry, I get thirsty and I love it. I'd rather drink I'd rather drink this than water sometimes because it just refreshes me and it gives me that burp that I need. Okay, so like today, I do want to get my Christmas cards done. So that's why this one's going to be a little bit of a short one, or maybe not. It's already long already. Yeah, so I can get them out to my friends and my loved ones I miss so much, and just want to send them a little cheer, a little piece of us for Christmas. And you know, what is it? Christmas spirit, you sing loud and clear so everyone can hear. Well, I'm singing right now. So that's it for tonight, Cuddlebugs, and I hope that I can get my tree up tomorrow, and I can show you guys what I did. I've been picking up little ideas here, little ideas there, and I'll share with you guys, so then you guys can either do it too for next year, which is great. What was I gonna do? Oh, and I want to get the video for the gnomes, because I remember last time I did Vlogmas, I did a little red hat with the toilet paper scroll thing, the toilet paper that's on the roller, and I did a little hat. And I think we're going to do that with the gnomes, but something, you know, like the little gnome guy. And that's going to be fun because I'm going to make some. I'm going to make the red or the white or whiter with the red. No, it has to be the red with the white because of the little beard guy. Anyway, so we'll do that. You guys have a great evening. Thank you for the comments and questions. Because we're a small group. I mean, I'm a video small group. I will get to the questions and answer them personally. If you guys want to do a question and answer question, whatever thing, the Q&A, go ahead. Let's do one. Write down on the comments what you guys want to know about me. I'm an open book. I just won't tell you how much is in my checking account. I don't care about my weight, my height, whatever you want to say. You know, ask me and I'll answer. If I can answer it, I'll answer truthfully. I have nothing to hide. I don't see why anybody has to lie about anything. So go ahead and ask me. Ask me. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. Okay. Well, good night, and guys have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. If I have a little chance, I'll do a little video driving. But other than that, I don't know what to tell you. Okay. I love you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love yourself always. You see, I kind of twisted it up there. As always, love yourselves. Okay. All right, guys. Good night. Bye-bye.